Hello, this is Mike Swanson. I run the website WallStreetWindow.com, and the odds are that you're watching this video because you got an email from me telling you that it's up and ready for you to see. What I want to talk about today, and it's Sunday, are the 10 positions that I bought 2 weeks ago in my Robinhood account. We're going to go over those positions. How do the charts look? Do they still look good? Do they look like they can go up, or they look bad? And what's going on in the rest of the market too? So let me load up my screen so I can share with you what I see. It takes a moment here for the stuff to pop up. But what you're seeing right here is my Robinhood account. Now, I've got a large account with a huge amount of money in it and well over 100 individual positions. But what I did with my Robinhood account is decided, look, I'm going to stick with just 10 positions in this account because to talk about 100 would be too much to talk with you about. And it's a good teaching tool, and because so many people are coming into the markets for the very first time in the past year through Robinhood. And Robinhood itself provides very little guidance or information on what you should buy. So we've got to use tools beyond Robinhood to figure out what's going on. But this is what has happened in the last week in this account. You know, we had a decent week. We dipped a little bit, but came back up. And some of the stocks have done really well, as you'll see in a moment. And this was a week when a lot of stocks got hit really hard, especially popular stocks owned by many people, Robinhood account stocks like Tesla, because the NASDAQ is now lagging the S&P 500, lagging the Dow, and there's a great rotation going on. But these are the stocks in the account that you can see. Franco Nevada is one of them, and they had a good day on Friday. But we'll go over the charts individually and I'll explain what I'm doing. But just remember, 10 stocks that divide the count up into 10 positions. You really need to have multiple positions in an account to manage position size risk. If you have everything in one stock, extremely risky, or in one single thing, especially if that thing is volatile, like Bitcoin. Having all your money in Bitcoin is not a good idea. But anyway, if you're on my email list, you need to get on it if you're not on it by clicking the link associated with this video. You'll get an email from me every single morning before the market opens up with the top headlines I'm watching and a link to my morning thoughts, my blog post. And last week, in one of the updates, I said the stock market is churning. And I've said this multiple times over the past week. And what this means is money is coming out of many of the past winning stocks and going into new things. And that's why that's why the QQQs are trading worse than the other averages, and stocks like Tesla really are sagging. And one of my favorite indicators to use to analyze the markets is one that you see on the bottom of this chart. It's a ratio dividing Tesla with the price of the S&P 500. Creates a relative strength plot. What that means is when this goes up, when the ratio goes up, Tesla's outperforming the S&P 500. Well, you can see that ratio peaked out in February, and now Tesla is lagging the S&P 500. When a stock, a sector, or an ETF tends to lag the S&P 500, what happens is when there's down days in the markets, those stocks get hit, and that's what's going on with Tesla. So I want to own things that have that ratio trending up, and from an investment standpoint, if you've seen something that's got this ratio having gone down for years, then beginning to trend up, that makes for a great investment sweet spot. That's not where we're at, to say the least, with Tesla. But another big theme that's going on in the markets is that the Federal Reserve had a meeting the other week in which it said that inflation is coming, but we don't really care because we're going to predict that it's going to go away. If it doesn't go away, well, they'll deal with it way in the future. But either way, they're not going to do anything about it. Well, that's very bullish for stocks that can benefit from inflation. And this post from now 10 days ago, I showed this chart of a stock, several stocks. Two of them are in the Robinhood account. This third one is not, but it's one I also own, Nordic American Tanker Shipping. And on Friday, that stock completely exploded, up 14.79%. In a day in which Tesla was horrible, this stock exploded. And let's go through the 10 Robinhood stocks right now and see what's going on. So here's Wheaton Precious Metals. It is a silver mining stock. Gold and silver have been consolidating now since August. However, there's some good signs that they're starting to rally. They tend to trade historically opposite the US dollar, and the US dollar has been trending up slightly over the past month, while gold and silver has been trending up too. It's a positive divergence. And these stocks and the metals look like they're getting ready. They've stabilized after a correction and have a good chance to turn up. If Wheaton Precious Metals can close above the high set 2 weeks ago, that would be a bullish pivot point. I'd expect higher prices. That's why I'm maintaining this stock in my Robinhood account, in my main account too. I think this stock can do very well. And I think now's the time to look for things that look like they've already had corrections or coming out, and they have better upside potential than things such as Tesla, which had gone up a lot last year and now are lagging the market. I think the thing to do to deal with churning markets is take money out of the stocks that went up the most last year and have been trading the worst over the past couple of weeks, and into new things that have the potential to rally from here. And you want to look for sectors in that, your stocks in those sort of sectors. Wheaton Precious Metals is one stock. And another one I've got in the Robinhood account and my main account, Columbia Property Trust. Bought it in the Robinhood account, I think, when it was around 15. And the stock has done incredible. Why? Because two reasons. One, it's a real estate investment trust. That's a sector that has come alive in the market, while the Teslas, the things such as the ARK ETF, no longer doing so well. But not only that, but 2 weeks ago, you see this giant gap up. That happened because a coalition or a consortium of hedge funds, LLCs, big money guys, they put out a buyout bid to buy all the shares in this stock, all of them, and take the company private. Well, that caused an incredible gap up. And I had no idea that was going to happen, but it happened. And that's provided a nice boost, not to shareholders like me and to my Robinhood account. So it's a fun thing to see. One thing I would note about this situation is that you never see anything like this ever happen with the cryptocurrency. That's because stocks represent an ownership interest in a company, a real thing in the real world that generates earnings, sales. So stocks represent ownership in companies. So there are times when if some other group wants to take over a company, they've got to buy all the shares out there, because that means your share too. That's something that never happens with cryptocurrencies, because cryptocurrencies do not represent an ownership interest in companies. They're just virtual paper, and no one wants to buy all the currencies of something. You know, no one wants to buy every single US dollar out there and corner the dollars. Makes no sense. No one wants to do that with any of these virtual currencies either, because it makes no sense, because they represent ownership and nothing but the virtual currency itself. And as long as people believe in the virtual currency, that's good. But if they lose faith in it, then it's complete garbage and worthless, because it represents ownership and absolutely nothing. It's pure speculation. Well, that's why I personally avoid them. I don't trade them. I don't invest in them. I think they're awful investments. They can be good trades if you've got a method for trading them, but I'm just not interested in that. I like to buy things that I think have the potential to get bought out, that create earnings, dividends, have real fundamentals to them. So I leave that crypto stuff to other people out there. I'm not a crypto guy. I'll never be a crypto buy. I'll never speculate in that stuff. If you want to hear about stocks, stick with me. If you want cryptos, go to someone else, because I refuse to be involved in it, because I'm not going to put a dime of my own money in that stuff. I'm for sectors that are going up, and I think can outperform the market in stocks in those sectors. CXP was in there, and we got lucky because CXP got a buyout offer. Now, I don't know if the company's going to accept it or not. It's all up, you know, there could be a vote on it, and I'd be able to vote as a shareholder, but we'll see what happens in this situation. So another stock that's on the Robinhood list is Scorpio Tankers. We're up on that, and it did very well last week. With the weakness in the NASDAQ, this stock finished the week near a high. And what I've done in the Robinhood account, even though it's 10 positions, I've spread out in 3 key sectors: mining stocks, REITs, shipping stocks, because I think those 3 sectors stand a good chance to outperform the stock market over the next 6 to 8 weeks. I've got an energy stock in there too that we'll look at in a moment. But this is a promising chart right here. And I started to get interested in this sector back in January, maybe actually before the end of December, because I thought it was making a critical bottom that had been lagging the market for a while, along with energy stocks, because this sector ties in with the energy stock sector, which it bottomed. Oil prices done well. And so this sector tends to follow, and it appears to be doing that just as we speak. Now, it also has this other news story, which is also sort of luck, I guess, and that's this oil tanker that's stuck in the Suez Canal, because that's driving the Baltic dry rate up. That's the rate. It's a measurement that shipping companies charge their customers to ship goods across the world, and that can benefit the bottom line of these various shipping stocks. So the next stock, LTC Properties, another REIT. The REIT sector, along with much of the stock market, did have a pause last week, then popped up on Friday. So the same sort of action is here. Realty Income, another REIT, managed to close on a 52-week high on Friday. So it looks good. And these REITs pay juicy dividends. You look at the Robinhood account, you can see, you know, it didn't go up the most. ST&G did, CXP, DHT, which we'll get to in a second. Now, S&P is a stock that's performing the worst in my Robinhood account. It's a energy company based in China. So, the energy stocks pulled back. They look like they've putting in some sort of bottom here. Most energy stocks look like this. Exxon's another one that I own that's acting stronger. But this is probably the worst, I think the worst performing stock in the account. So if I decide to, at this point, maybe things will change in a week, but if I decide to buy a new position in the account, I would sell this. Now, I talk about other stocks in the blog posts. I go beyond these 10 stocks, as you saw from NAT. And on the first this month, I'm going to have a very special stock pick of the month in a small cap stock, basically a penny stock that I think's got great upside potential. So if you're not on the email list, you're going to want to subscribe to the email list by clicking the link associated with this video so you can get that stock pick of the month on the first of this month. I think that's going to be Thursday. It'll come out before the market open. You're going to want to get that. So subscribe, click the link associated with this video to do that if you're just watching from YouTube and not already on the email list. Now, DHT Holdings, that stock popped up 6.72%. Again, this is another shipping stock. That's why the chart's very similar to STNG. And then finally, well, not quite finally, but another shipping stock, Euronav, nice chart. You know, these stocks are in a position where if they clear the recent high of the other week, which is really the high of September and August, they've got a chance to really explode. And that's what I want to, that's why I put some money in here to work, because my goal in this Robinhood account is to beat the performance of the market averages. I can't do that now by just seeking into what everyone else is buying and hoping it does better. I've got to do some work and some research to find that what can lead next month or next week, not what did last year. And now we turn to Pan American Silver. It's also a mining stock. You know, it didn't really move much last week, sitting right above $30. So I think this can pop if silver and gold go up as I expect it will, but it hasn't done so yet. But one could buy here, put a stop loss on the March low and be pretty tight on how much they're risking. And, you know, it's still a decent entry point. And finally, we got Franco Nevada, another mining stock that was really lagging and then popped alive towards the end of March and is really consolidating here. Support around 120, resistance at 125. So if you're a short-term trader, you can just watch this stock, and if it goes through 125, buy, or put in a stop market order, buy order to buy if it goes through 125. I think you have a really sweet trade there. So if it does that, then it's going to be in rally mode. And I think we're getting close to a rally mode in gold, silver, mining stocks, which will provide a lift to this entire sector. So that's an overview of what's going on of every position, all 10 of them in this Robinhood account. And again, the thing about Robinhood is commissions are zero, but the way Robinhood makes money is tries to encourage its customers to do as many trades possible because they make money on the order flow of those trades. And the way they do that is by pushing in front of them all these lists of things that move dramatically every single day to conduce people to chase that market action. You know, that's what they highlight in the popular list. And there's nothing else on here to help you figure out what's a good stock to buy. So that's why we've got to use other resources, other tools to do our research. Stock Charts is the website I was using to chart out these things. So if we turn to the 100 most popular Robinhood stocks right now, what we see is Apple, Tesla number 2. Why is Tesla number 2? You know, it's lagging the market so bad now. Really shouldn't be. But Robinhood knows these are the most popular stocks and emails people about them constantly. You know, well, there's so many better opportunities out there. And this list is made up of things that, frankly, are now lagging the markets. You know, because these are really the big winners of last year. You know, I'd say a good amount of them. And now many of these stocks are lagging the market averages, you know, and this is a time, I believe, to go through a portfolio. And the other chart I showed you of Tesla was old. But let me show you, well, no, it wasn't, how to use the relative strength. Again, this is stockcharts.com. I type in the symbol Tesla, and I go to indicator, and I make the indicator. It's a simple ratio of the stock, TSLA, and then colon SPX, ratio SPX. And then it's there on the bottom, and that indicator's lagging, trending down, not what you want to see. Not what you want to see. So you want to get out of things lagging the markets and get into the things that are positioned to lead. So that's my thoughts as we go into this week. It'll be real interesting to see how things unfold. Last week was a week of churning. This could be a week in which some new leadership does really appear, and that'll be something that we'll keep our eyes on.